what did you have to do differently compared to other people when you were a child because of your financial situation?
Work. I mean, we go out and see them for millers and sell them, and, all kinds. I mean, I picked cotton when I was 8 years old. It wasn't even big enough to tote the bag. I had to drag it. But I got 25 cents for what I picked. You buy enough candy to last 2 weeks.
Per bag or just for the whole day?
Just for the whole day. But you couldn't pick, I couldn't pick a whole bag, but you couldn't bring it. I mean, I had to put a rope, they had a strap to it, you put it over my arm, and I dragged it back up to where they could weigh it. And they paid me based on the weight. The country, where it wasn't like growing up in the city. So it was just like,
it was like country.
We worked together, there was always somebody to help with, you had to go cut wood, you pick up somebody, they'd go help you. One of the best friends I ever had. Could pick up a pulpwood log and throw it on top of a pup by itself. Matter of fact, he probably kept it from shooting a fellow one day. But we had food on the table and clothes on our back, and Mom and Daddy both worked. And we all helped and done whatever we could. Now, and Mama's favorite line was, when you get a job and make your money, you buy whatever you want to, but Lord, I'm buying you wear what I buy you. There was a lot of times Daddy worked during the day, Mama worked second shift. So Daddy done a lot of his cooking. Well, matter of fact, that's probably where I learned to cook from. You know what I mean?
But was that normal for women to work back then?
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot of women worked.
And then all the grandparents were taking care of the kids?
Well, when I was little, my grandmama took care of me while Mama worked. I know I was 6 years old, had a month, and she the one took care of it when I had a month. But financially, I think you couldn't say, I'm not going to say we were poor, but I wasn't going to say we were rich. I think we were just whatever we needed. We wanted something that if we wanted meat, we went out and killed it. Wanted fish, we went and caught it. So, very little beef. I remember Sunday was a big thing, that's fried chicken day.
Because she had time to cook it. Well, did she cook it or did your dad?
No, she cooked Sunday.
Carol wasn't big though. Uncle Carol wasn't a big man.
No, what I'm talking about, Joe only weighed about 135 pounds.
Really? As a teenager? Really? Didn't he play football?
Running back. Carol did too, but yeah, he was out, Joe didn't start putting on weight till he was up in 8.
And how tall is he?
About 6'2", 6'1". He's the tallest one out of the bunch. He took after Mama's side.
Uncle Jack.
Yeah. Me and Carol took after Daddy's side. Granddaddy, Daddy, Carol, we were all about the same height. And they say, people I know that knew both of us, that knew Daddy too, said I'm the one that looked more like you than anybody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I agree with that. But on Granny's side, they were tall and slender.
They were taller people.
And that's what he did, was he was a farmer?
Granddaddy started out as a sawmill.
Was your grandfather well off?
Yeah. It's really easy to want something you ain't got. And that why he got a lot of robberies and all that stuff, I think.
Debt?
Yeah. The debt, appreciate what you got and live within your means.
Y'all didn't have credit cards and stuff back then when you were growing up. You paid everything with cash, or you didn't get it.
Yeah. You got that right.
When did credit cards start becoming big? Like when people started using them?
I got messed up with them in the 20s, when I was 20 in the 20s. Real easy to go to the store and buy something put on credit cards. One thing about when you had to pay it back.
So that would have been in the 70s.
60, 70, yeah.
So that's when they started getting to be
Well, I
more.
mean, they was out there, and then once they got started, everybody, banks, everybody else started sending them to you.
Let's say these guys have grandkids. What's one advice you'd want their grandkids to know that you've learned in life that you'd like to pass on? Or more than one thing?
Well, for the financial issue, you need to teach them to make sure they talk, per se, about the value of a dollar bill. I mean, what is that, baby?
We give a bill.
Oh, okay.
Bill a bill for hot ones.
Oh, okay. But, nobody really looked at that kind of stuff. I mean, people made ends meet. I mean, particularly if you live in the country. And, so you done whatever you had to do to make sure the family structure back during my childhood was more. They were more concerned about the family being taken care of than they were themselves. And I think that's what you need. I think one of the things that we lost somewhere along the way. You got so many people out here just drop kids and they're dead with it. They don't care. If somebody else, the government got involved with it. So it's too easy to get the government to give you money to support your family, which you're really not supporting them. And I think welfare itself that come along, I thought it was one of the dirty things they ever invented when they started talking about it, because of the senior citizen type people. I mean, there were people out there living off of cat food and dog food and stuff like that, just be able to pay for the medicine, but they couldn't get it. If you owned a house or you owned a piece of land, you didn't qualify. But you could drop 3 or 4 kids, and you get $1,000, $1,200 worth of food stamps a month. And I was in the drugstore one time, and there was a lady in front of me had 2 buggies full. I mean, packed. I'm sitting there trying to have enough money to buy whatever I was going to pay for. And she had 4 or 5 of them 5-pound tubes of hamburger meat. And somebody said, "You gonna eat a lot of hamburger, aren't you?" I said, "Oh, that ain't for me, that's for my dog." So they're out there buying dog food and stuff, because you can't buy dog food with food stamps. And they'll go out there and sell food stamps. I've got people asking me all the time up the warehouse, "You gonna buy the food stamp?" Nope. Nope. But I mean, personally, I think that's I think the biggest thing the grandkids need to understand, or even the kids need more of that goes nowadays, is the family value. You gotta have a family, you got a value that goes with it, and you need to make sure they understand that. So when they grow up, they can pass it along to their kids.
So what's some of the funnest things you've done in life? What's your, that just sticks in your mind?
Growing up in the country, where you could do stuff, I mean, a lot of us was up there. You had a certain group that hung together, a certain that didn't. The one that didn't, that was like us. On the weekend, we go stay at each other's house and go fish. This is whatever. We knew each other. No one ever locked the door. It was just fun growing up. I mean, and when Mama passed away, I thought seriously about moving back up there, and I thought about it now. Because the country I knew when I was a kid, they eat there no more. The cabins and all that stuff.
So he did that to make some money. He farmed and sold.
Well, they built the lake, see?
Oh, because the lake wasn't there before then.
Not before they did. See, they built the lake during the Depression years.
Oh, okay. To put people to work and.
Yeah, right. I don't remember what they called it. It was something Roosevelt or something like that.
Yeah, did that. Yeah, it was. I forget what it was called too.
So all those cabins were built off y'all's sawmill?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now Joe and him and John and them remodeled them over the years. They used to not have them with old wood stove in them and army cots.
Do people rent them for the weekend, or
There were a lot of people doing the summer renting for the whole week.
Oh, for the week, so it's like a weekly rental in the
No,
summer.
you can rent it for the weekend or rent it for one day.
Oh, really?
I remember when you used to rent for $2 a day. which was $2 a day, probably like $20, $25, $30.
Yeah.
Looking back, what would you change concerning your financial situation as an adult?
Probably would have undertaken retirement a little bit better than what I did. In other words, I would be in a lot better financial shape in retirement age than I would than I am. But then again,
I think a lot of people 20 years from now are going to say the exact same thing.
But then again, I was the only one working. I had 4 mouths to feed, so it was kind of hard to put money back. But that would probably have been my problem. I worked some money. Mama telling you, Mama, I don't know why you say I work. The more I make, the more you spend. But when I was younger, when they were little, I'd work 1 hour a week. I was camping a little.
Camping because you're a big camper.
Well, at one time I was. Me and the boy used to live next door. We used to go down duck hunting and all that stuff down on the river. That was what we used to live.
Oh, when you were little and when we were real little and you hunted.
Yeah.
I remember that. And you ate squirrel brain.
Oh, I ate rabbit, turtle, possum, raccoon, deer. Ain't never ate no snake. I ate eel one time. That was only one time. That was enough for me.
I ate eel before. I liked it.
Oh, it tasted good. But do you know what bad about eel?
What?
You cook it, and as long as it's hot, it's fine. But once it gets in your stomach, it goes back. It turns back to fresh meat. You know that, did you? But when I was eating it, it made me keep thinking about snake. I ate alligator. Alligator really good. Frog legs.
Did y'all used to eat frog legs a lot growing up?
Oh yeah, we hunted for frogs.
You did hunt for frogs? So y'all go hunt for frogs like Duck Dynasty, go hunting for them?
No, we never caught them. We gigged them.
You what?
Used a little gigger. Little gig that looked like a little fork and 3 prongs on it.
Delete it. Just delete it.
And it had a stick that was about 6 foot long. You'd actually shine a flashlight on them at night.
Yeah.
And that light would blind their eyes and you could,
Oh my goodness.
well, I ain't never been able to catch one.
Oh, you never caught one?
Never caught one by my hand with my hand.
Oh, but you would do it with that stick.
Yeah, well, we shoot them too.
Oh my
We
goodness.
shot them. Well, I shot them with rifles too.
How are you?
We used a little old short 22. Little what we call a rat gun. A little rifle. Shine that light on it, pop it right in the back of the head.
Oh,
Now, they cooked the whole frog on Duck Dynasty.
yeah, I don't know
I
if I
never-
saw that one.
But all we ever done was cut the legs off it. There wasn't no meat on the rest of it. That's just like a possum. You didn't really eat the possum. You pinned him up and fed him milk and bread for 2 weeks, and then you cooked him. And then you put eye potatoes and sweet potatoes and carrot and all that stuff around that, and that grease. You know, wasn't nothing but bones and fat, so you didn't want to eat nothing. You really didn't eat no possum.
But it gives those potatoes a really good taste.
Yeah, that grease. Well, that one thing when I grew up, you sat down at the table, what was on the table is what you ate. If you didn't eat it, you didn't get nothing else. That's it. The one other, and the old fella said back then, he was running to McDonald's and getting something. One of the funded members I remember.
Or chips or candy or something in the cupboard if you wanted that.
None of that. I remember on Sunday night, when I was a kid, we had a fairly decent week. Maybe we caught a bunch of minnows, maybe we sold them, but did a little extra money. There was a place up in Chapin called Chapin Service Station. Had a little grill. You could buy a hamburger with 25 cents, a hot dog with 15. And Daddy would go up there and buy each other a hamburger and a hot dog and a Pepsi Cola. And we sat there and watched The Wonderful World of Disney on TV. I still remember that just like it was yesterday. And at Christmas time, you got one item that you wanted. The rest of the stuff you got was stuff you needed. Pants, shirts, socks, underwear. And you had a box looked like, you know, a cardboard box. And it had, you got some nuts and some grape and the banana and the apple and orange and all that kind of stuff. One year I got a brand new bicycle. And Joe got on it and started riding it up the road, and I took my BB gun and shot him in the tail. Get my bike up.